Good out there in television or video land. This is Ernie Meyer with the Ernie Meyer Show, and we are interviewing Avital. And I try to pronounce her name correctly, and she will correct me several times. But if you like what she has to offer, please like, share, comment, and subscribe to our station. And forgive me for the lighting here because I'm going to tell you this is the first time that I'm using this virtual background, and it's a lot better than the backdrop that I had. So I want to introduce Avital and talk a little bit about her. And for over 15 years, she has been serving thousands of people worldwide in an award-winning international keynote speaker. And I want to welcome her to our program, the Ernie Meyer Show. And welcome to us today. And tell the audience a little bit about yourself and a little bit more about what you've accomplished in life.
Thank you so much, Ernie. That is a big question. First, because you were asking about my name, in case you ever forget how to say my name, Siri actually thinks my name is Avital. And you could just say Avital. And those of you who've seen me in person, that statement means there's still hope for me. But I feel like that actually represents part of my goal, being tall, expanding our energy, being bigger. My name actually means sustainer of God. And to me, that means like sustaining our highest potential. So I have big shoes to fill. I'll need to be tall for that. In the past, I've been called a one-woman campaign against You'll Never. Maybe I'm still called that. But that is because of having these moments, because you're asking, what are my successes? What's my story? But it's having all these moments of thinking like something wouldn't be possible for someone like me. A woman graduating in mechanical engineering in college who beats out all of the other engineering students and the computer science students and gets a job as a program manager at Microsoft straight out of college. And then I am the one who was told by my dance teacher in college, so I also have a major in dance, but she said I would never amount to anything in dance. All of a sudden, I'm in India performing at the Miss South India pageant, nationally televised in front of thousands of people. Yeah. And here's another one, and this is great for people to keep in mind, because I think sometimes when we think we're not good at something, we can't do it. And I've always been aware of like where my skills lie with dance. I'm a great performer. So that's why I get to perform, not as much with the technique. I was held back in school for my writing abilities. And surprise, I write a book called Healing Happens, Stories of Healing Against All Odds. And, I'm told there's no way like I can write things. One of my bosses didn't want me to write the newsletter for the business that I was working on. This book sells over 900 copies in the first year. It hits bestseller on Amazon, and it wins 4 awards. All that was supposedly not having great writing skills.
Isn't that amazing? For those of you watching our show right now, Avital will give us, or Avital will give us a free offer that is worth a lot of money to you at the end of this show. And stay tuned, because she will actually present this to you, and we'll put a link to the information down below. And so I want to welcome you again. And, to know that you are an engineering graduate. Most people in engineering, engineers, if you know them, they don't have a personality. And you do. And I can say that without insulting the engineers, because I'm an ex-engineer myself. And I thought I was the only one with a sense of humor. And other engineers would look at me and go, this is not logical. And, I'd always have that sense of humor with me, and the engineers are great. Don't get me wrong. And without them, we wouldn't be able to take our dreams or what have you. But at the same time, engineers are the last to make a decision about what they come up with. But
I was the person hired to be the bridge between the people in customer support and the engineering team. I wouldn't say I was necessarily hired to do that, but they quickly realized that I was a good bridge. And they actually mapped what I created for my group for the entire company in order to communicate between the two teams and with the customers. I have just always been a person who uses both sides of the brain. I will be honest, I was shy growing up, and I still have a lot of shy moments, but I lit up on stage. So I was always a performer.
You sound familiar. I was shy when it came to classwork and things of that sort and being called on. I'd say, call on somebody else. I don't want to talk to you. Here I am today, and here you are today. So tell us, what kind of roadblocks did you have in your life?
Yeah, well, I mentioned a couple of them. One of the ones that people seem to be really fascinated by is the story that created my book, Healing Happens, Stories of Healing Against All Odds. And that's being at a young age diagnosed with an autoimmune disorder called Hashimoto's and hypothyroidism, just put on a high dosage of medication, kind of sent out the door without any indication of if any healing is possible or what I could do for myself to help improve my health. And I thought, all right, if this is an arranged marriage, let me figure out how to work with it in the best way possible. And that's where I just start diving in. And I am reading books and reading online and going to different types of health and healing practitioners. I even studied Ayurveda and ancient Indian medical science in India for 2 months, one-on-one with the doctor. And I was looking at both the East and the West medicine. I was really finding amazing practitioners and in both areas, what we're used to and some of the alternative methods. And that's really what inspired me to put so many different types of practitioners in my book, because sometimes it's more about how you go about that path of healing than just like choosing the right one for you. And I wanted to share things that we all could do because that's what made the impact on me. And no, I don't have 0% of those issues. But it's the health issues like rarely come up. I'm on barely any dosage of medication. So they used to say that I went from medication to meditation because when I started meditating was when the doctor started tapering me off of the medicine. And then I just started to hear stories of people who were told they're going to die in a few months or few hours, and they turned that around. And I had to just say, like, what can we do in our lives to overcome seemingly insurmountable challenges and put all of these stories, put all of this wisdom together in one book? But we talked about the gift that I'm going to offer. And one of the issues is that I used to be called an Energizer buddy, and then I was having fatigue. I never napped. I didn't even nap in preschool. I remember laying in the nap, like waiting for nap time to be over. And so the question then becomes, what did I do to get healthier? What did I do to once again be called an Energizer buddy?
That's beautiful. And again, I'm reminding you that you're watching the Ernie Meyer Show, and we're interviewing Avital. And believe me, standing next to her, I feel like I'm tall but she's tall in her personality. And that's what's so beautiful about this woman. And she wants to offer and give and give. And if you stay till the end, she will give you a free offer as well as, anything else, any other information, you'd be able to talk to her and actually build a relationship before you actually get involved with this person. She's just wonderful. And I met her at a boot camp retreat, and I've seen her a couple of times. I know she's met my wife, and, we'll be at the next one. And we just love it. And we just enjoy meeting people like her and the rest of the people that we do meet along the way. So, if you do like what you're hearing from her, there goes my aneurysm again. please like, share, comment, and subscribe to our channel because there are many of people that have overcome roadblocks. And yes, I know, and I made you repeat that roadblock, but actually go deeper into what you were doing. And that's great because that'll help a lot of people that are saying, wait a minute, I grew up like that. I did that.
Mhm.
You know, I can remember teachers telling me that I was stupid and wouldn't amount to anything because of the way I thought. But all these have come to pass, like the I once, and I put it in my bio book that I have coming out that said I was saying in the 10th grade back in 1960, yes, I am that old, that looked like South America and Africa were connected. And this teacher said to me in front of the whole class, that's the most stupidest thing I've ever heard of. Now,
Mhm.
can you imagine that? And today it's proven right. So please
Yeah.
continue with your journey and where you are today and how you help other people.
Yeah, thank you. And I really like to stress people being themselves. And I was
Mm,
mentioning with you earlier, Ernie, like that's one of the things that was hitting me. And it's often not accepted by society to be to be emotional and to be emotional in certain situations and to be authentic with how you truly feel in the moment. Like I
mm,
grew up just kind of needing to walk in school and brush aside the ride to school where I just felt like my mother was nasty to me. And same thing when I had an abusive ex-husband and I'd walk
mm.
out the door and have to get in front of a group of people. And I did it. But it's
Yeah.
tiring to just not be real with what you're feeling inside. And I was
Mhm.
feeling that pressure again from some people this week. I just kind of being like, no, you shouldn't feel that way. Like, you shouldn't have any emotions, like we're not going to address that here. And it's just this awareness that some people don't want to dive into that. And that is totally fine. But we get to be clear of like who we are standing in the presence of our fullness and say, hey, it's okay for me to have emotions
Mhm.
about this thing and to have feelings. And
Yes.
it's like the feeling of pressure of somebody wanting you to be different than who you are. So it's taking that time to be really clear with who you are and accepting that. Those are a lot of the steps that I love to share with people.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's wonderful. And again, you're listening and watching the Ernie Meyer Show. And today we have a special guest online that is really inspirational. And she has overcome a lot in her life to be where she is, to help her and help a lot of the people that need her type of help.
Mhm.
And I want to remind you, if you do like what you're seeing here, any of our videos, that you like, share, comment, and subscribe. And share this with other people who may have similar or other problems that we might be able to help you with. So don't be shy like we were. Get out there, and don't let other people's opinion stop you from what you want to do in life.
Mhm.
And I still run across that, even giving speeches and being on stage, people will come up to me and say, well, you should have done it this way. Well, guess what? 90% of the people said I should do it this way. I go with the high percentages that want what we have to offer the way we want to offer it. And I'm
Mhm.
sure you run into that as well, but you know, we'll not talk about that. We'll just talk about the positive in that. Is there anything else you would like to add with what you do and what's going on?
Yeah, well, I'm happy also to share a little bit about the gift and you kind of know where that comes from. But
Mhm.
I mentioned being called an Energizer bunny and then having issues with fatigue. Part of the growth and the learning there was what shifts do I need to make so I have sustaining energy? And what are things that I can do if I need energy right now? So it
Mm.
just amazed me. It amazes me when I watch my clients do this. I really wanted things that we can do on our own. So if we're literally stuck in a deserted island, we have the power within ourselves to create those shifts. We don't need to invest in any products and any money. We can just do it.
That's
And
right.
I wanted to bring 3 of my favorite keys to unlock unlimited energy out
Mm.
to more people. So I have a webinar called Energize Your Life. And the trick to signing up for it is simply going to www.unlockunlimitedenergy.com.
It's beautiful. And folks out there in the peanut gallery, as Howdy Doodies used to say, we will put that link down below so you'll be able to go right to her free offer. And it's wonderful. It really is. Is there anything else you'd like to say?
Anything else that I would like to share? I would like to share to take time to breathe. Because the breath is what gives us energy. It's what gives us life force. Especially anyone listening to this right now, but really any time in life, there's challenges. And we're feeling a certain dimension of challenges, of a diversion of opinions in the world right now. And it's sometimes, it creates conflict, right? It creates challenge. And whether or not you strongly feel towards one side or another, you could feel, right? What is going on right now? And I'm amazed at the number of people who are speaking up for what they believe in and the ways that some people do it, truth and honesty and kindness. One of the keys to just letting go of all the tension and stepping back into being okay within your belief system is to do those deep breaths. And when we're anxious, we breathe quickly. I think maybe when we're depressed, we might be breathing slowly. I don't know that one for sure. But the idea is when we breathe deeply, right, and fully, we can't even have those emotions at the same time. Isn't that amazing?
It is amazing. It's funny because when I hear you or anybody else say breathe or breathe deeply, you automatically do that. So those of you out there in the audience that are breathing deeply, don't think you're alone because you hear that command and you subconsciously just do it. And it's wonderful the way that you give suggestions and things happen. Yeah. So again, you're listening to the Ernie Meyer Show. And again, if you like, share, comment, and subscribe, and especially share this with anybody else you feel might be able to use these or anyone else of the other videos that we do share. And just remember, you can make a living or you can design a life. Design your life. Don't let others design it for you, or don't let circumstances design it for you. Get out there and take charge of your life. And if you want to know how, ask us. We're here. If you want to be on our show, right now it's free to be interviewed on our show. And I will put our link down below. You'll see it up there in the corner. It's erniemeyerlive.com. So feel free to subscribe to us. Contact us. Get a hold of us if you feel that you really need the services that we offer. Have a conversation first. Put your credit card away. We're offering free compliments for you. You can make a living or you can design your life. Let that life start today. Are there any parting words that you would like to tell the audience right now?
Yeah, the key is to take action. When you get these free things, use them. Do it.
I love that. I really do. And thank you. And thank you very much for watching. And we are going to get off right now so that I can populate this particular call. And we'll talk to you later. Have a great day and have a great life.